Hey guys, my name is Logan with Nissan of Cookeville, and today I'm going to be telling you why this 2017 Sentra might replace your next sports car that you've been looking at. Under the hood, we've got a 1.6-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine making 188 horsepower. The torque's really where the fun is, though. You're going to be in the 170s as far as that's concerned, but it's paired to a beautiful 6-speed manual transmission, and I'm going to show you why this car should be at the top of your Christmas wish list. Let's find it out together. Alright guys, so the main reason that I love this Sentra is because you don't really see them around very often. We get one, maybe two a year since we stopped making them, and I love every single time one rolls in the lot, mainly because of this direct gas injection turbo 4-cylinder engine. You can see under the hood it's going to be a completely different engine bay layout than your typical Nissan Sentra because most of those are going to be naturally aspirated. This guy's got that little turbocharger in there that doesn't do a whole lot as far as noise is concerned, because you'll notice whenever we go to drive it, it is a very comfortable vehicle to drive, but it goes that extra mile to pump the Sentra from what typically that horsepower range sits in the mid-ones up to something that you can have a lot more fun with right here at 188 horsepower. Let's go ahead and take a look at some stuff on the inside. That way we can make sure this should be on your Christmas shopping list. Alright guys, so now that we're finally inside the Sentra, you can see exactly why I keep saying this is the perfect daily driver, perfect kind of sports car replacement if you want to err on the side of fuel economy. Now, most manufacturers, whenever you get a sporty transmission, a little extra horsepower out of a turbocharger, you're typically going to skimp out on some interior features, mainly for weight reduction. That way it's a little bit faster. Nissan went the complete opposite route with this Sentra. We have thrown so many luxurious features at this thing, it really fights out of the class that it's in. Of course, we've got a full leather interior. We have a full power moonroof up top with a manual sunshade. Very, very nice addition, especially in the summer and spring months. Now, up here we have a built-in navigation system on the 7-inch color touch display. It is a very, very usable system, and it is packaged very, very nicely on that dashboard. That way it doesn't take up too much space, but it still gives you all of the information you need. Plus, it actually includes a CD player, a very welcome addition in 2021, even though this vehicle is 4 years old at this point. Moving down some, we have the very, very easy to use climate control. Fan speed over here, and the temperature over here, of course, cranked all the way on the red side because it is the middle of winter in Tennessee and we are very cold up here. Now, onto this manual transmission. As somebody that daily drives a manual transmission, I have a lot to say about it. It is a very, very comfortable gait. Now, once you actually start getting into shifting it, the transmission just kind of slides into the gears. Everything is very, very easy to find. I have not put in many miles on these Sentras, and I know exactly how to drive the transmission. So it's very, very easy to pick up, and I'm by no means an expert. Going into reverse is my favorite thing about this transmission because it's the collar style lockout, just like on my daily driver. Pull up, go over to the driver's side, and then push it forward. Your backup camera comes up. That way you know you are in reverse. Now, this vehicle does also have hill start assist, so if you're learning a manual transmission in it, it's going to be your best friend. Coming up to a hill that will endure some rollback, this vehicle will hold on the brakes for 2 seconds for you. That way you have plenty of time to transition from brake to gas and clutch. That way you don't roll back into the person behind you and you don't dump the clutch and start spinning your tires. Okay guys, enough with the sporty stuff. Let's talk about some more features. Now, up front we have some quick comfort heated front seats. That's been a staple for Nissan as far as that's been concerned. They're on a high-low toggle, very, very easy to use, and the great thing about these is if it's in the winter like we are right now and you're going to be using them every day, you can leave it on that on position and it will stay on for you. The vehicle won't turn them off automatically whenever you get in and out. Not only that, but we have a very, very nice advanced drive assist display. You'll probably see some more B-roll shots of that because my camera guy can't get quite a great angle on it, but it gives you tons of good information about the vehicle while you're driving. You click through these displays, you have some trip information, some drive computers. With that turbocharged 1.6 liter, this vehicle is showing that we are getting an average of 34.5 miles per gallon, which is right around the EPA fuel economy rating of about 32 for this vehicle, actually fighting a little bit over the weight class. Now, of course, this vehicle has spent the last week or so of its life moping around on a car lot, so that is going to be slightly lower than what it's actually been reading out, so just keep that in mind. Your mileage will vary. Now, of course, some other little bits of information that this advanced drive assist display can give you. Right now, we've got our cardinal direction on the compass. If you have a destination plugged into navigation, it actually has the ability to give you turn-by-turn instructions on that display as well. That way you don't have to keep looking between the two displays and inevitably getting distracted off the road. Now, if you click through this display a little bit more, you can see that we do have some driving aids as well. This vehicle is also equipped with blind spot monitoring and rear automatic braking. So if you actually look at the backup camera going into reverse, we've got those hash marks going up the side. That shows you exactly how close or far away to things you are whenever you're in reverse. Keeps you from putting some accidental dents in the back bumper. Speaking of back, let's go ahead and go check out the cargo space, and then we can take this thing for a quick drive. All right, guys, so on the 2017 Sentra, you actually have 3 different ways to access your cargo space. One being the button on the upper left-hand side of the dashboard next to the steering wheel. You have a physical button underneath the trunk, and then, of course, if you hold the button on the key fob, the trunk will pop open as well. It's my favorite if you can't tell. Now, looking in here, you can see that, again, the Sentra is fighting outside of its weight class with this massive deep well trunk. And then, of course, underneath here as well, we do have a lower cargo area where the emergency spare tire is kept. And if you take a look at that, it is going to actually be a donut spare tire with the remainder of the jack and tire kit in there as well. And then, of course, you can see we do have a full set of carpeted floor mats for the Sentra. And then, of course, your emergency trunk release. Always know where that is in your car. Now, if you look at the actual trunk lid, you can see we do have the backup camera mounted to the left of the license plate, so if you ever notice any dirt or grime on that display, it's very easy. You take a microfiber cloth and wipe that off, and then you can get trekking once again. Let's take one look at the back seat real quick, and then we can take this thing on the road. All right, guys, so looking in the back seat of the Sentra, you can see that the leather trim stops all the way back here. Very, very comfortable back seats. I'm almost 6 foot, and I fit in here very, very easily. If you take a look at the back of the center console, you can see that we have an additional 2 USB Type A's. That way anybody you've got in the back seat can stay connected and charged at all times. Some comfort and convenience features back here. Of course, if you've only got 2 passengers, they can easily fold down that center console cup holder armrest, have a perfect spot to rest your elbows and your sodas. And then, of course, these seats do also have a trunk pass-through as well on the same 60-40 split that you're going to typically find in the back of a Nissan vehicle. Very, very large trunk pass-through. It doesn't lay quite flat with the trunk, but it is still more than enough to get some large items in and out of this sedan if you so have to. Let's go ahead and grab my license plate and take this thing for a quick test drive. All right, guys, so getting the SR Turbo out on the road, and it is apparent that Nissan said comfort first, believe it or not, with something that is sport-oriented. Now, driving this thing, finding a driving position is extremely easy to do because you really don't have to adapt to the manual transmissionness of it too much. It almost drives like an automatic with a couple extra steps, if that makes any sense. The gear ratios are extremely, extremely quick. If you want to have fun with it, you find yourself shifting a lot, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. That just basically means your gears aren't too long. If the gears are too long, then you might stall more frequently, and there's not necessarily a great gear for driving around town. This car, all of that's incorrect. There is a very, very, very easy to drive manner that this car possesses. It's very confidence inspiring, and I love that about it. The one thing that I do want to make note of is that it's just a nice car to drive. It's the perfect amount of horsepower to have fun with, but not get in trouble, which is important. The suspension treats you well. It's very, very easy to put into a corner if you wanted to. And the greatest thing is this car does have quite a few safety features to help you stay alert while you're driving. I don't have any special auto rev match downshifting or anything like that, but what I do have is a very, very nice clutch. The clutch lets you know exactly when it brakes, exactly when it starts engaging. There's not a whole lot of clutch travel to it, so there's not a whole lot of leg work that your left foot's really doing. It's not a leg workout like some other manual transmission cars can be. And the shift knob is at the perfect height. It's not technically a short throw shifter. The throws are very short. There's not a whole lot of moving that I have to do from gear to gear, but I can tell that it's definitely a little bit further away from my hand than my daily driver. Now, comparing it to other manual transmission economy fun cars, I'd probably put this one up at the top. I know Toyota has a great offering with their Corolla. I know that you can get a manual transmission Mustang with a turbo 4-banger in it that's pretty good on gas. Out of all of those, I would probably go with the Sentra if it was my money. And the only reason is it has more cargo space than almost anything else in its class. It has more horsepower than almost anything else in its class. And you get a wonderful feature set to go along with it. Something that I haven't even talked about yet is the Bose premium audio system. And if it wasn't for YouTube's monetization and copyright rules, I would definitely show that off. However, I do not have any non-copywritten music to show to you guys. Otherwise, we'd be bumping it right now. Not only that, but I've got a sunroof. Not every single Fun Time economy manual comes with a sunroof. As I mentioned earlier, most of them omit those because of weight savings or to some effect safety. Nissan, we still kept the sunroof in there and it shows. Very, very easy to just reach up, close that if it's raining and you don't want to see those clouds, or reach up and open it if you want to see the sun, or even open it up on a warm summer day. All in all, I really do like this car. It is very easy to drive. It is very comfortable to drive. It's not going to turn heads, but what it is going to do is save you money in the long run. Beautiful fuel economy. It's got all the safety features that your insurance company likes, and tons and tons and tons of cargo space. These heated seats are extremely comfortable. We've had them on for about 15 minutes now, and they are not burning us out, but they're still the exact same temperature that they were whenever we turned them on. Nice, comfortable, warm. That's one big gripe about heated seats that I've had over the last little bit, is either don't get warm enough or they burn you out. These sit kind of right there in that middle zone. I'll give you guys my final thoughts once you get back to the dealership, but for now, this is going to conclude the driving review of this car. I'll see you guys there in just a few minutes. Alright guys, so to say a few more things before I let you guys go, with the 2017 Nissan Sentra SR Turbo, I really do like this car. I really, truly do. After driving it, I like it even more. It has the perfect amount of equipment for me to be comfortable using it as a daily driver. I could probably do without the sunroof, but most people can for that matter. It has just the right amount of horsepower to make it fun and around town car without the possibility of getting in trouble very often. The gears are very, very nice, and it's an easy manual transmission to live with. Like I said, it doesn't have many assistive technologies when it comes to driving the 6-speed, but once you actually get into it, it's a very easy and forgiving transmission to learn. Alright guys, so without further ado, I cannot thank you guys enough for taking the time to watch this video, or any other video that our channel's put out here lately for that matter. It really, truly does mean a lot. We've recently just hit over 1,000 subscribers on Nissan of Cookeville YouTube channel. We're trying to get more and more every single day, so if you can, make sure you subscribe, leave a like if you don't mind. Of course, comment down below on what car you want to see next, or even if you guys have any suggestions for cars that we've already done that you want us to touch back base on. My name's Logan with Nissan of Cookeville. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you all in the next one.